Hey guys, so today I did this simple cat eye look for you. I think it's absolutely stunning. It really just emphasizes the eyes, it elongates them and makes them look absolutely stunning. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to subscribe and give it a huge thumbs up if you guys like it. And if you want to learn how to get this look, just keep on watching. So I started off by applying some foundation. That was the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation by L'Oreal. Then I went in with Maybelline's Instant Age Rewind, which I absolutely love. I use this to highlight. As you can see, I applied it underneath my eyes, on my forehead, my nose, and my cupid's bow. Then I went in with my Fit Me concealer. This is in Sand, and the only reason I'm using two concealers is that I find that the Fit Me just blends so easily, so I just put it over top for blendability purposes. Now I'm going to grab my Real Technique sponge, which I love. You want to make sure it's really dampened, and you really want to press. You don't want to smear the concealer just because you still want to get that coverage and that brightness. So you really just want to dab, not smear. Once your concealer is blended out, you want to make sure you don't have any creases. You want to set it with a powder, and that's exactly what I'm doing right there. And you just want to make sure that you don't grab any creases and that everything's blended out exactly how you want it. Now you're going to apply some tape. You're going to want to make sure this is even because this is going to really map out the liner for you. I primed the eyes with MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I really love this because it cancels out any blueness that I might have, and it just provides a beautiful clean canvas. Once you've applied your favorite primer, you're going to want to go in with your transition shade, and that's what I'm doing here with this Morphe 35N palette. So you don't really have to be really precise with this because it is such a light shade. This is just going to kind of map out and make blending a lot easier. So you really want to make sure you start off with a transition shade and just blend it up towards the crease. I'm just adding a little bit more and more just to deepen up the shade, and you really want to, it's preferable to add more than to go in with a strong hand and not be able to take it back. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. You just want to keep building up the consistency until you get exactly what you want. So I'm incorporating a little bit of color. As you can see, this is a very orangey shade. It's not a huge pop of color, but it does add that little oomph. I've seen Kylie Jenner wear a lot of these very orangey shades, and they look really stunning. They make your eyes almost look like a sunset, so I really like incorporating those. With a more precise brush, I'm basically just applying more and more color until I get the consistency that I want, and once I do, I'll move on. I'm going to take a clean brush now and just basically blend out all the shades and make sure that it really does flow and looks really blended. When in doubt, just blend more. Here I'm honestly just intensifying the color, making sure that it's where you want it. You can keep this part as light or even go as dark as you want just to make a more dramatic effect. I'm going to do a pretty good in between, but you can definitely go lighter or darker, whatever you prefer. I want the lid to be a little bit darker than what it is right now, so I am going to take with a fluffy brush just a little bit of that color we've been using and just apply it over the lid. I don't want to make it extremely dark or as dark as the crease. I just want to deepen it up a little bit. When in doubt, just keep blending and intensify the color on the outer corners just because that's what's going to emphasize the cat eye look. To create more flow, I'm just going to be grabbing a more precise brush and I'm going to be deepening up the V. Then I'm going to extend that to the lower lash line, and that'll create a sense of cohesiveness throughout the eye so that it looks really blended and really flowy. So just taking any deeper shades that you have, I took these four here. You're going to take a little bit more of a more precise brush and really deepen out the outer V of your eye, because this is really going to create depth, and you really want the darkest part of the eye to be on the outer corner. Now I'm going to line the eyes with this dark brown shade. What this is going to do is it's going to provide basically like an outline of where your liner should be. And since it isn't as dark as black, you can definitely go in and blend it out or fix any errors that you might have. Also, I use this kind of as a transition shade because I really want to diffuse the shades and really make it a smoked out liner. So that's what you see right there. I'm like smoking out the dark brown. Now I'm going to go in with my NYC liquid liner, and I'm going to put it as close as I can to the lash line, and this is going to make the effect of thicker lashes. Now I'm going to basically get a really small precise brush, and before it dries out, kind of blend it in a little bit. Now that I've taken out the tape, I'm going to go in with my darkest black that I have. You can definitely use any black that you have. If it's not as pigmented, you can definitely wet it with some Fix Plus, eye drops, whatever you prefer. So what I'm doing here is basically just perfecting the liner to get the consistency and the shape that I want. And then I'm going to go in and blend it a little bit more. This is what's so great about this, is it doesn't have to be perfect since you are blending it out. So you could have some mistakes and it'll still look good because it's supposed to be a smoky liner. I'm going to take of whatever's left over on that small precise brush and really drag it underneath the lash line. That'll just create a darker and deeper shade underneath the lash line, and it'll create a flow to the liner. Now I'm kind of blending out the color and placing more until I have the desired darkness and depthness. You could always do this with a dark brown shade. You don't have to do it with black. So yeah, I'm just doing and shading in the black liner. If you make a mistake, you could always clean it up with some concealer afterwards. Now that your liner looks the way you want it to do and it works perfectly with your eye, you can always clean up with some concealer, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm basically applying the concealer and really getting that cut edge, as you can see right there, and then blending it out again with my Real Technique sponge. Looking back now, I would have done my foundation, my eyes, and then my concealer instead of my foundation, concealer, eyes, and then concealer again. However, it wasn't a big deal. It didn't really cake up under the eyes, so it really worked out. Once I've applied my concealer, I'm going to set it with this Maybelline powder, Dream Wonder powder. I really like it because it really diffuses the eyes, I feel. So yeah, I'm just going to apply that underneath the eyes. Once you set your concealer with your preferred powder, you're going to go in with this pencil brush or whatever pencil brush you have, and you are going to get a deeper shade similar to the ones we use at the top and really smoke out the lower lash line. Now I'm going to go in with my darkest brown shade and a liner brush and really define the lower lash line. Now grabbing the powder that we used before, I'm really going to clean up and kind of blend out the lower lash line with a pencil brush that's clean and only has the powder. You can also use this powder for the brow bone highlight, and this really cleans up if you took the shadow way too high. So this is just a good trick you can use in everyday life when you're blending out a shadow and you maybe took it more higher than you prefer. You can always clean it up with a pencil brush and your powder. So now I'm going to apply some mascara and some lashes, and as you can see, it really makes and puts this look all together. Bam. Now just grabbing any bronzer, you're going to want to basically use this as a transition shade for your contour. So I really like blending out the bronzer where I'm going to put my contour. I feel like it works as a transition shade, so it's really great. So you're going to want to hit the hollows of your cheek, your jawline, and just anywhere the sun would naturally hit. You just really want to warm up the skin. I'm also going to be using this as my blush today. As you can see, I'm really taking it to the apples of the cheeks just because I find that I don't want to take away from this look, so I really like using it as a blush also, just extending it and really making you look bronze. Now to chisel out the cheek, I'm going to take Anastasia's contour kit and put it on the hollows of my cheeks, my jawline, anywhere you want to cut. So yeah, I'm cutting up the cheek right now, and yeah, Just want to make sure it's blended. A really good trick if your contour got muddy or messy is by cleaning it up with a little bit of banana powder. You can grab any loose powder that you have and you bake the lower part, or basically underneath your contour, and it just cleans up that area. So you want to leave the powder on for a little bit and then you sweep it off. I'm also going to take this powder and brighten up everything a little bit more. So wherever we put concealer and we want to attract more light, I'm going to apply this powder and it'll just brighten up that area. So I'm going to do it underneath my eyes, my forehead, the tip of my nose. And yeah, once you're done, you're going to want to sweep off any excess. Now to highlight, I'm going to take Sephora's Luminizing Drops, which I absolutely love. They're really stunning, and I just apply them with my finger and blend it out. You want to make sure you do one side, blend it out, and then do the other side and blend it out, just so that it really gives a smooth, blended look. Since you can never have too much highlight, over top of this highlight, I'm going to be using MAC's Oh Darling. A really good dupe for this is Laura Geller's Gilded Honey. I really like that. For the lips, I'm going to be taking NYX's lip liner in Peekaboo Natural, and I'm just going to line the lips with this. To tone the pink down just a little bit and incorporate that beautiful orangey tone that we put in our eyelids at the beginning, I'm going to take MAC's Freckle. As you can see, I absolutely love this color. It's just a perfect nude for me, since more browny tones looks better on my lips. So I'm just going to apply this onto my lips and blend it in with my lips because I really want a very natural lip. I almost forgot, I'm going to put some highlighter in the inner corners just to open up the eyes a bit, and now that you've applied that, you are done. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like it, please give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. So this is the finalized look. I really hope you guys like it. Contour. Like, it's just the difference makeup makes.